Good morning, my friends. Hope you're all having a wonderful Saturday morning. Today, I was planning a little bit on what to do, and I thought I might start a series using my Natasha Denona mini eyeshadows. And by minis, I mean these ones. I also have the older ones that were slightly larger 5-pan ones, but those you can't get a hold of anymore. So I'm not going to use those ones. There's also the baby ones. I might include that one, I'm not sure. But I do use my mini ones an awful lot. It's one of my favorite ones. They are super easy to bring with you. They are super easy to bring with you when you travel. And I do have, let's see if I can get all of them out. I do have a bunch. So my plan was firstly to do like my top 5. And then I started thinking that I haven't used all of them in quite some time. There are a few that I use every week almost. But there are also a few that I haven't touched in probably good 6 months. So I thought that I might start by using one per day for, well, I would guess the next 2 weeks or so. And then I will conclude it with my top favorite ones. So I hope that might be of interest to you. I'm just going to do a quick base. I'm just meeting my friend for lunch. It's Saturday, so I'm not in any particular rush, but we are going for lunch later on. So I'm just going to do a nice and quick base, and then we will get on with one of the little mini ones. Do you have any of the Natasha Denona miniature ones, and which ones are your favorites? Regular old Victoria Beckham Augustina Spada foundation drops. I must say that one of my most used ones is probably the My Dream one. I've traveled with this one loads, and so that one is currently one of my absolute favorites. But I thought that this series might actually change my mind a bit. You just never know. I'm just doing a little base using the Victoria Beckham Beauty one. I'm actually gonna use my Lisa Eldridge pinpoint concealer. What? Oh no, mine is broken. I haven't used it yet. Damn it. Oh no, okay. I might have to, yeah, push that one down a bit. That's typical. There we go. It will work fine, I'm sure. I'm probably going to go through this very quickly anyways. But that's always a bummer when you purchase something new and it's broken upon arrival. Just a little bit, a few dots here and there where I get a little bit of redness. And I'm mixing it in with the same brush. And of course, since we are using my Natasha Denona, I am going to use the Natasha Denona blushes. You have all seen me use the High Glam one in So Shy. It's actually my favorite one by her. I would say this color, not that one. So I'm not going to use that one today because you've seen me use it like 200 times now. Well, not 200 times, but probably 10 times. I do also have the Mini Bloom highlighting. I mean, for me, this is a blush. I mean, it's not a highlighter, obviously. I mean, no. I also have from the Love collection, I'm not sure if this one is called Love Cheek Duo. I have this one, which is a highlighter and a cream blush. I have the mini glow blush, mini dream glow blush. That one, it's like a highlighter and two blushes, and you can mix them together. That one is very nice. And I also have the My Dream Cheek Trio with two highlighters and a cream blush. So those are the ones that I own from Natasha Denona. I am waiting on the new High Glam, the new colors. They haven't arrived in my Sephora yet because they have a very nice beigey one that I'm interested in getting. But I haven't seen them yet, so I'm sure they will arrive shortly. But I mean, Sweden is probably on the bottom of everyone's lists, so it does take a while for us to have the new launches. So my plan today is to use, I haven't used this one in quite a bit. This is the mini Zendo palette, and it is a beautiful one. It is rather, it is slightly tricky colors for me, especially these two. These three, they're quite fine, but the other two are a bit tricky. Sorry, I have a cat hair somewhere around my nose, so it's tickly. There we go. I'm hoping that's better. So I'm planning to use this one because I haven't used it in a while. And I'm going to use the tricky colors because sometimes when I buy a new palette, I always tend to go to the tricky colors first that I think I'm not going to like, because then I can see if I really like the ones that I didn't think I was going to like, then I probably will like the palette more than I thought, which is quite fun. So that's always how I try to reason things. I've done it with most of my palettes actually. I tend to go for the trickier colors. I am going to use the Farah Hamidi bronzer to get some life back into me, just as one needs on a February Saturday. It is nice to get some sort of color. Guys, I can't recommend this enough. I really, really enjoyed this one. I don't want you to buy the amount of stuff that I'm buying because that's not healthy. It's just stupidity, honestly. But it does bring me loads and loads of joy. I was talking to my best friend about this I think it was yesterday. And it actually just brings me joy every morning when I pull out my drawer and just start like, what am I going to wear today? What am I going to do today? It's actually a very, very good feeling and something that brings me immense joy. And I kind of need it, especially when the world is looking the way it does. Urban Decay Primer Potion, you've seen it before 200 times on my channel. I've been using it for years. Swear by it. I do try other stuff as well sometimes, but I always go back to that one. Those things does not bring me that much joy to buy and try. I would say it's mostly colors that brings me joy. So eyeshadows and blushes. Those are the most fun things. Mascaras on occasion, but that's more need than anything else. So I am going to start with this one. I'm a bit scared. We will start with this one as a transition. I really want to have this one, but I'm also going to try to use, all 5 of the colors on every look in all the palettes. So we'll see where we land. I'm a bit scared, as I said, but it will be fine. Using a brush, I think this is an old BH Cosmetics again. I did buy an awful lot of brushes from them. And they all have different kind of handles, and most of them are synthetics. So I'm used to working with them. This is a rather nice color. It's a warm leaning pink. It looks very cool leaning in the pan, but as I've said, on me everything turns slightly more yellowish. So whenever I have something that looks cool, it might not be as cool as I think. Especially if it's neutrals, they do tend to flip a little bit more warm on me. That is actually a very nice sort of, almost a bit terracotta. I like that one. Haven't used this palette. I mean, I think I am struggling much more with the warm tone colors. So these three would be my least used mini palettes. I do wear them on occasion, but not much. And if you compare this one to the Mini Love, you can see that the Mini Love is much more worn, well, much more used by me, and it's a little bit cooler. This one I really love. I love the Love palette. But the Zendo I haven't used in well, probably a year at least. It's mostly when I start thinking about palettes I haven't used in a long time, and then I get back to them and try to use them again. It's not bad. Then I'm going into the slightly darker, warmer shade. Okay, this one looks, yeah, this one is much more terracotta, but it is a very nice color. It does look quite neutral for being a terracotta. Why haven't I used this one in a long time? It's lovely. I do also have an awful lot of the bigger Natasha Denona palettes. I love her eyeshadows in particular. They are really nice. But some of them has a slightly weird undertone on me. I'm not sure if it's because she's olive and she makes everything more user-friendly for olive people. But sometimes her eyeshadows, when I look at them in the pan, I think, wow, this is just going to be smashing. And then when I put them on, it doesn't turn out exactly the way I want them to. And I think that's more of a me problem. It doesn't have anything to do with the fact that her eyeshadows are, I mean, they are brilliant. They stay on, they are beautiful. But I do know that I have a weird undertone. I'm not very good at undertones in general. I still don't really know what kind of undertone I have. I've done a color theory trial, and that said I had a teal undertone, so I am not sure. I could possibly be a teal because everything turns like orange on me, so maybe I'm teal, maybe I'm a Smurf, who knows. I am then going to use this one all over my lid. I'm terrified of using that one because it doesn't look like anything I would like. I'm using the same brush. We'll just see how it works out. So we'll see. This one is nice too. I mean, it's not my favorite color, but I hope I'm not going to look like I have a pink eye. But if I do, it's only makeup and it washes off. My friend is going to be surprised when she sees me, because I normally don't wear these kinds of colors I do wear them in the summertime, but not in the winter time when I'm looking very pale and well, blue, I guess, bluish green. I rather like this. Huh. To get inspired doing this one, I did watch an awful lot of YouTube videos on what other people were thinking, and I do follow Alicia Archer. I've been following her for years, and of course Angelica Nyqvist, which is a Swedish YouTuber, and they had like rankings and things on there, and they both really loved this one. So that's why I wanted to start with this one, because it's one of my least used, I guess. But I mean, I'm not like everyone else, I guess. Oh, I forgot to use the darker one. I'm going to use that on my outer corners. I'm going to use a slightly smaller brush for that one. I'm going to take, this is also an old BH Cosmetics. Just apply it like that. Ooh, this is a very nice color. I knew I liked the darkest one, because that one I have used more. I have brought that one out for us on several occasions without using the rest of the colors. And also for me, I travel a lot, as I've mentioned before, and these are super good to bring with you. So I normally would take like one of the more neutral ones. I do travel a lot with this one. And now of course I've just bought the darker, well, the cool neutrals, the cool sculpt, can't see what it says. So I am planning to bring that one on a lot of my travels, but it is rather nice to be able to bring just two of these smaller ones, and then you're done. You can create so many different looks. The problem for me is always like when you have something like that, I have nothing to put on my inner corners. I would have to bring like a separate highlighter, something like that, and that's always the case for me. So I do tend to bring this one. I don't really use the grey ones. I only use the white and sometimes the black. So it is somewhat problematic for me when I bring them. So I would like to have one with a very light shade in it. Those are the ones for me, but I do understand, of course, that most people aren't as pale as I am. Most people actually have some sort of pigmentation and not borderline albinos like me, which is quite fun because both my parents are really brown. They are quite dark in color. I'm usually joking and telling my dad in the summertime that he looks like a Chesterfield couch, because he turns like this oxblood red and then he turns like really leather handbag brown, you know. If you know, you know. And I, of course, don't. And my brother is the same way. He also has really dark brown hair, and you just have to look outside when it's a bit of sunshine and he turns into what we would say a gingerbread man. He gets this really nice dark brown color. And then there's me. Like, what the heck, parents? Couldn't I have gotten some sort of pigmentation? Just a little bit, no? Would have been nice not to be an albino, but nothing I can do about that. It would be nice to be able to go outside in the summertime without using like SPF 2000. But not an option. I do get some color, of course, in the summertime. I do. I wouldn't say I don't, because I do. But compared to the rest of my family, I don't. And my brother has jokingly called me Lobster Girl since I was in my teens because I turn red. So he's called my husband on a few occasions when we've been on vacation and asked him if he put the when we boil lobsters, we put dill crowns, like the dill with the yellow, you know, the flowers. I'm sure everyone does the same. So he's called my husband and asked him if he prepared the pool and put the dill crowns inside so Lobster Girl can swim. So I of course call him Lobster Boy because that was a weird looking kid that we saw in a comic once. So we buy each other lobsters, everything with lobsters, and we send pictures of lobsters. There we go. I am looking slightly like I have a pink eye, but that's fine. I'm sure I'll bring joy to someone. And then I'm going to use this lightest shade as an inner corner. We'll see if it does look rather dark, but yeah, that is way too dark to use as an inner corner on me, but I'll just use it close to my tear ducts. And I'll bring in one of the other ones. And use as an inner corner. Yeah, it's way too dark to use on me, as I suspected. But now at least I have tried all the colors. This one would actually be a nice lid color on me. I'll pull it a little bit further in. So now I have used all the colors in the Zendo palette. I will just add from the mini xenon, the white one. I'm just going to put some of that on my very inner corner to bring out some light, and I'm going to use some underneath my brows just to get a little bit of lightness. Is this my best look yet? No, not by any means, but I have tried all the colors and I do quite like them. So I am going to use my Victoria Beckham, I think this is Cocoa Pave, on my, yeah, Cocoa Pave on my inner lashes, inner lash line. Or maybe I should, I think that one might be too cool. I could use this one, which I think is cinnamon. Yeah, I'll use cinnamon instead because that one is slightly more warm toned. Sorry, I did bring out the Cocoa Pave because I thought that one might be good. It probably is, but I do love the cinnamon one. Yeah, that one works fine. I do really love the dark color in the Zendo palette because that one has a slightly like purple tone to it. So I'm thinking that this might look good with purple mascara. There we go. Can't see what I'm doing. Yeah, that worked out okay, I think. I am then going to put on some black mascara just for the fun of it. Estee Lauder Sumptuous Extreme, same as always. still have some cat hair somewhere around my nose. It's tickling. Very annoying. I did like actually the center color, that kind of taupey color. That one was very nice in combination with the other ones. I think I'm gonna have to try and do a look using that one as like the main color on my lid. I would say that my least favorite in this palette is probably this one. Oh, sorry, it's getting shiny. This one is probably my least favorite, I would say, in this color story. Absolutely nothing wrong with the quality of the shadows. They are phenomenal, as always. Would be very surprised if Natasha Denona didn't have amazing shadows. Most of the shadows I've tried, there are a few duds in a few of the palettes that I don't really like, but most of them are actually really, really good. And she does make one of my absolute favorite form of eyeshadows. I know when I use her stuff, they are going to stay put and they are going to behave, which is all I ask for. The fun thing about this kind of eyeshadow, I have one eye. This eye is more green and that one is more brown. I'm not sure if you can see it, but whenever I use slightly like reddish or sometimes even pink eyeshadows, you can really see that my eye is green and the other one is brown, and this one actually brings it out. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it. It does get annoying sometimes because they do tend to look a bit different. Otherwise, I don't really care. It is what it is. Can't really do anything about it. Using my Twin Thin, same one I've used, I think, in all my videos. I haven't been using this one for, well, basically every day for the past year. Not this specific one. I have 3 or 4. I have them in my bag. I usually have to bring one because, as you know, my eyebrows, I do tend to put them on and then they look a bit weird. So I have to adjust them. And also, since I wear glasses and I don't have much hair in the center of my brows because I plucked those away in the 90s, I do bring one with me because sometimes my glasses rub it off and I just need to. That's about the only thing I reapply. I almost never use powders or anything. I just want my makeup to stay put. But I usually have a lip gloss. I also have some concealer just in case, and I have this one with me. That's usually what's in my makeup, everyday makeup bag that I have in my handbag. There we go. I have brows, which is nice. I'm then gonna put on some, I wonder what color I'm gonna use for my blush. I think I might use this one actually. Or maybe I should, I'm gonna mix these two. Scary stuff. I'm just gonna use do a swivel around using this one. I really like blushes that has some sort of luminosity in them. Yeah. So I don't have a problem mixing it with my highlighter because I don't really care if it's a little bit glowy. I don't like it when it sparkles too much, but that one actually turned out pretty good. I'll add a little bit of this one as well. This one is obviously very orange. but it does have a nice sheen. There we go. I haven't used much of Natasha Denona's. I haven't tried the foundations, and I've tried it on my hand, but I haven't found any undertone that works for me in the High Glam concealer and the foundation. So I don't have anything like that. I don't have a lot of her lip products either, so I am going to use my Makeup Forever, and this is the Artist Color pencil, and I think this is Wherever Walnut. I think this is one of the newer colors. Yeah, Wherever Walnut 606. I'm not sure if it's one of the new ones, and neither was the girl working at Sephora. But I like the color, so I bought it anyways. I think it is one of the new ones. I think the other one might be called Forever Walnut or something like that. So don't take my word for it. I'm not sure if this is a new one. I'm sorry also, my lips are looking rubbish. They are really dry. Can't move my lips while doing this, sorry. I'm not going to fill in with any sort of moisture just yet because I'm going to brush my teeth, but I am probably going to use my Giorgio Armani in number 7 nude something just on top after I've brushed my teeth. So my friends, this is the finished look using the Zendo palette. I hope you're all having a wonderful Saturday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.